Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is August 9th, 2023, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the market's mostly wavering, and we are in summer trading. Most of the Northern Hemisphere is in summer mode, and that means that markets are going to be trading much lighter. Now, there's no major economic events scheduled for today. So as we look at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, we're watching the euro perk up a little bit with a slight gap up this morning, and looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ kind of climb themselves up from a double bottom. Now looking at the commodities, gold trickling lower while oil remains unchanged. Now looking at the stocks, mostly wavering lower, but not really something significant. So we're going to call it unchanged. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin has a nice spike up. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're going to start out with the Euro USD, and here we go. We're trading at 109.71, and we had about a 20 pip gap up. Not a big deal, and it does look like we're kind of closing it off a little bit this morning and selling off after this gap up. So I mean, this is really like trading right now. If we look almost across the board, when we look at the Forex symbols, they're not really trading because this is very light kind of volume and very tight kind of ranges, and there's other things to focus on. So speaking of focusing on, let's take a look at gold. Gold did continue to trickle lower. Okay, now it's been weak, and it's continuously been weak ever since it hit 197, and we have also a gap up this morning, but again, not that big of a deal. Okay, we're breaking the 8-day moving average, but nothing to really write home about. Now, looking at crude oil, really unchanged day to day. We are hitting resistance-ish areas, so I do anticipate this will sell off in this area-ish level. Now, looking at the U.S. markets, the Dow Jones had a sell-off yesterday, and then kind of just dug itself out, okay, from that negative, okay, to 35,400 level. Now, we are not at the highs, we're not at the lows, we're somewhere at the middle if you look at this range. So keep that in mind as we're going into today's session, as this is kind of like maybe going to just drift, okay, between these two levels, and maybe we'll get a small opportunity. Now, looking at the NASDAQ, we did trickle lower, okay, and we are wavering lower. So, you know, the markets are still kind of shy, okay? What I mean shy, I mean like a little bit soft, because there's not a lot of follow through. Apple continues to just really be unchanged here at 178, just bouncing off of that 200-day moving average. If we look at a monthly, okay, this is really important because this was an area we hit an all-time new high on it, and that was really very important. Now, on a weekly, and I mentioned this on Target to Trade, this is significant. The fact that we broke our 200-day moving average is really very important here, and that does show us that we're getting weaker. Now, on the upside, okay, on the downside, best case scenario, we do have support at 160-ish level. So we do have some room here, at least, to bounce off of this support. Now, remember, Apple's fourth quarter is its strongest quarter, so we're going into that right now. So it could be kind of interesting what unfolds. Looking at the other majors, Microsoft just trickling down also. Facebook kind of just wavering sideways, not trickling down. And if we look at Google, also pretty strong and wavering sideways. Amazon just holding on to its gap up. So not a lot of activity in the markets right now. Things are kind of just consolidating the information as we're going into today's session. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, we got a spike to 29,800 from 29,200, and that just is the reality of Bitcoin, okay? It's nothing, and then massive spike. And that's exactly what is happening here. So if you got it and you were day trading it, great. If not, don't beat yourself up for it, because this is really a hard trade. It's not really trending anywhere. And to anticipate a day like yesterday in Bitcoin, almost impossible. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.